opposite with Ben Stitz. Ben Stitz filling the back of the net with goals. Stas a little bit more balanced with his goals and assists, but I don't think anybody cares where those goals and assists are coming from as long as they're coming, Dan.
As long as they are coming from the back of the net, indeed, we'll get more on to the statistics, but we are set to go. Penn will have the first touch going from right to left on your screen as we get set. Game time temperatures, a beautiful 68 degrees here in West Philadelphia. The sun just ducking behind the buildings, so that might be a little bit of a problem for the opening minutes for Nick Christopherson for Penn as he's defending the goal to our right. But we'll see who jumps out first.
Beautiful night here in Penn Park. Homecoming weekend at Penn. A lot of activity in and around campus. Football seems to be wrapping up an important win over Yale and Franklin Field. And men's soccer looking to extend that success here this evening.
The success indeed. The series between Brown and Penn, pretty much razor thin for more than a decade. 11 of the last 12 contests have been one-goal decisions or going into then overtime, and now we can actually say the word without me getting something thrown at me, double overtime. All in total, though, Brown holds a 33-25 advantage, 6-5-2 since '08, but recently Penn 5-2-2 in the last 9 matches at home. Starting things off for Bruno this evening, we made mention of Henrik Viper, Owen Schwartz, Zachary Lawal, Scott Gustafson, Jamin Gogo Peters, Langdon Giglis, Tanner Barry, Kojo Dazi, Kylie G, Michael Chung, and Hari Spafera all on the pitch. You said, Coach, a very young squad. First-year head coach of Brown is Chase Wildman. His first year as the boss for Bruno. And for the Quakers, similar lineup as we have seen so far this evening. Nick Christopherson in net, Leo Burney, Aaron Messer, Isaac McGinnis, Ben Stitz, Ben Doe, Nick Shimbano getting the nod tonight, as well as Michael Hughes, Charlie Gaffner, Jack Rosner, and as we already mentioned, Stas Korzanowski.
Yeah, fairly set core to the Penn lineup at this point of the season. Has had a lot of success. They've settled in. They feel very comfortable with one another, and the results show it.
Results show it indeed, Coach. And from your time on the bench down with Rhodes Field, when you have that chemistry and you're able to put the same lineup out there each and every night, it says a lot not only for the guys but for the way that they get the feel for the game as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's huge when you can get settled into a lineup, but also have the depth that Coach Gill has on this roster.
And some of that depth that we'll see at some point tonight. Look for Mateo Zazueta to come out, Michael Tadaitis, name a couple. That'll be coming in off the bench. Jacob Muchnick, Tommy Altiers we've seen some of here and there. Good problem to have when you can look at the bench and actually have to think about which one do I want to take.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Gill and this Penn squad are well positioned right now. As long as they can stay healthy and keep playing well, they should be able to extend the season.
Talking with assistant coach Matt Poplowski before we went on the air tonight, and pretty much had the same sentiment, not trying to speak anything into existence, but knock on wood. Yeah, you're getting in towards the latter part of the season. Everybody's getting a little bit banged up a little bit. Some bumps, some bruises here and there, but nothing really to be overly worried about. As you get into the latter part of the season, you're going to have the aches, you're going to have the pains, you're going to have the ice packs, the ice baths and whatnot. But still, for the most part, a relatively healthy team.
Yeah, knock on wood with that because, obviously you want to keep your key guys healthy, particularly now that they're settled.
As a foul called against Brown. Homecoming weekend, as you said. Coach has already had at least 3 people coming over here to the booth to say hi to him. And that's not even counting the referees. I still haven't gotten a vibe yet when the referees see you on this side of the pitch now with the headset on, whether they're happy or whether they're fearful. Because, one, they're not hearing half the things that we're saying, but 2, knowing that they might be critiqued, shall we say. Long ball through the middle. Brown able to collect.
Good repressure by Penn there.
Nice reload. Hughes up top. McGinnis. Penn working right side. Nice move. Aaron Messer putting on a little bit of a clinic there in front of the bench. Off to the line, and Brown will just launch it into the trees. The Dunning-Cohen Championships, champion field, the temporary home for Penn soccer for the next year and change. Now we don't have to worry about the ball going out in the traffic. If we hit traffic from here, somebody really tattooed one because there's another field behind us, then some pathway, then the road. So whistle a call against Brown. Penn will have a free kick in front of their bench, opening minutes of the first half. Checking around other things at campus, Coach. I do believe we got a final over at Franklin Field, yes?
We do. The Quakers beat Yale 20-13 in a massive game in the football standings within the Ivy League. Penn remains undefeated on the season and picks up a big win over Yale.
So they're not the only undefeated football team in Philadelphia.
That is
fascinating.
Correct. That is correct.
Locally, the NFL, Philadelphia Eagles doing their part. So I guess now the pressure's on the Eagles to continue. They have the bye week this week, so they'll have a little more time to plan for it. There's a foul called against the Quakers. Brown will have the free kick just to our left. Off the free kick, ball up. Settling by Brown. Chung sends it a corner, looking for Gustafsson. Out of bounds, and Stas Korzanowski will just tap it away. The throw in a little further up the pitch. Michael Chung, the senior defender, will throw in. High throw in, top of the box. Trailing back out, Barry. He'll send the left foot forward. Goes down near the line.
That was well done there by Ben Doe.
Ben did very well to get into the position.
Absorbing the little challenge there, kind of getting knocked off, but holding his position and winning the goal kick. So it's an interesting challenge for Penn here against this Brown team. Brown is really coming out in more of a 5-3-2 formation. Sometimes you'll see this when a team is defending and they'll try and break into a 3-5-2, but their midfield players against Penn are more flat across the field. But not something I think Penn has seen a lot of. So it'll be interesting to see if they can find the spaces and get a rhythm against this formation.
Now, outside of the obvious of having somebody else extra on the back line, what does the 5-3-2 benefit for the defense?
Well, it obviously for Brown, it makes them very solid when they're defending. More of a pyramid foundation. And if they come out of it in a 3-5-2, it gives them good width while not sacrificing the numbers in the middle of the field.
Taking care of everything out on the wing.
Yeah.
Pass picked off by Penn. Quakers trying to push up. Bruno dropping back in defense.
And the advantage or the potential advantage for Penn in this is if guys like Gaffney and Hughes can occupy their wing backs, the wide backs for Penn could have a field day coming forward. Oh, good ball.
Oh, nice ball through. Stas Korzanowski just couldn't get the footing to it. They'll retreat. Bernie. Bendo. Stitz.
Well done there by Ben Stitz, relieving the pressure, coming out the other side.
Gets it back to Shimbano. Shimbano out to the wing. And out of bounds, it'll be a throw-in for Brown.
And so that was a pretty good example there. Penn can be quicker on that switch to release Rosner, or on the opposite side, release Doe. They're going to have time and space to run into and potentially get a 2v1 against the wingback of Brown.
Brown trying to find some real estate to press forward.
So here now you see Brown in control with the ball. Their wingbacks have pressed forward, so it's more of a 3-5-2.
They had Chung out on the right wing. Not much there. Korzanowski now trying to work his way through traffic. It's being guarded by Giglis. Gets it out to Gaffney. Gaffney from the left of the box sends one in front, gets bounced right back out, and out of bounds for the throw-in. It tucked in just this side of the flag. Bendo.
Yeah, this is a good little matchup here with Gaffney and Doe on 27.
Ball in front, knocked away by the captain. Bendo squibbed it a little bit.
It really puts Chung in a bad spot for Brown when you have Gaffney and Doe out there wide working on him.
Now we have a stoppage on the play as Jarman Gogo Peters, the freshman from Forest Grove, Oregon, a little slow to get up. Looks like he's holding his right hip area, so the clock stopped. 33:35 left to go, the opening half. Up on his own power, to the applause of those in attendance. Referee, the man in the middle tonight, Rob Carmano, Lee Carter, Patrick Casey, and Gerald Blasi are the referees for this evening's contest. McGinnis out of bounds, throw in for Brown. Ball bounces at the net in front of us. Our ringside position right here.
Yeah.
Could get a little sporty. I think I still got my goalkeeper gloves at home. I may want to start bringing those.
Definitely a different vantage point.
Coach, we started off the show talking about the Ivy League. Penn sitting there ranked number 16, 3-0-0 at 9 points. Cornell now ranked number 21, 2-1-0. They're in action as we speak up at Princeton. Princeton could use the 3 points as well behind Cornell,
Yeah, I tell
with
you,
a 1-1-1.
Dan, that's a huge game at Princeton tonight. I mean, you have to think, at least in my time coaching in the league, when you picked up your second loss, it really puts you in a tough spot. There haven't been many Ivy League champions with 2 losses.
Yeah, we'll take a peek in on it right now. Cornell in the second half up 2-0 against the Tigers. We'll keep an eye on that as this game progresses. But for Penn now, I mean, you pretty much can't say it any simpler. They are in control of their own destiny.
They are absolutely in control of their own destiny, and you know, you build momentum as the season goes on, particularly in the environment like the Ivy League, where there is not yet a conference tournament. I say yet, but you know,
said yet.
The regular season champion gets the automatic bid, and so as you start to stack up the wins, you gain momentum, and there's a lot to be said for that. You know, we're honoring the 2002 Penn Ivy League championship team tonight at halftime, the 20-year anniversary of that championship, and that's a team that did just that. Started stacking wins early, gained momentum, and rode it all the way to the title.
And we'll see if history can repeat itself. Continuing with tonight's game, as we said before we went on the air, a little too early to start talking about securing the Ivy League championship. And again, Cornell, regardless of what happens tonight, Coach Gill knows that the Big Red will be nipping at their heels the entire time.
Oh, yeah, they're not going to be able to take their foot off the pedal at all. But I will tell you, the win at Yale, the win at Cornell, those are two big wins for this Penn team, obviously within the Ivy League. But to win games like that on the road shows the mettle of this team. And really, if they get the opportunity in the postseason, they'll be an interesting team to watch.
And once again, the clock has stopped as Mr. Peters is once again a little slow to get up. He keeps holding on to that area of the right hip, right at the belt line.
Yeah, this should be unfortunate for Brown. Gogo Peters has been an influential player for them this season, and I know Coach Wildman and the team count on him for some offensive production.
Well, and he is the leader on this side. 4 goals, 1 assist, a total of 9 points. And Mr. Peters will come out and have a seat. And coming in for him will be Charlie Adams, the junior midfielder from Norwich, Vermont. Charlie Adams, 11 games played, 9 starts. He's got a goal and assist to his credit, a total of 10 shots. And we'll see how both teams adjust to it. Play resumes. 30-10 left to go here in the opening half from Philadelphia. McGinnis trying to fight his way through. Towards the corner flag. Korzanowski.
Good tackle there.
Very nice tackle. Langdon Giglis with the footwork.
You can see in how Brown sets up why they're so difficult to break down and score against. If they're able to get their line set and numbers behind the ball with a back line of 5 and then 3 in front of them, that's really difficult to break down. So Penn's either going to have to pick up the pace of their attack and try and catch them before they get set, or they're going to have to be really good moving the ball to break Brown down in tight spaces.
And what we've seen so far of the Quakers, they have had great success in maneuvering the ball in those tight spaces. So right now, I would say both options are very plausible for the red and blue.
Absolutely.
Brown once again being a little patient, trying to set things up back and forth in the middle. Stitz offers a little motivation to get the ball moving. Bruno now working far side. Michael Chang, as we said, just drifting out to the wing all on his own. Gives him a couple of steps to set something up. People calling for a handball, referee not having any of it.
Good ball in.
Right in and right ball out.
Good clear by Shimbino. Brown showing good patience in possession, but as we've said before, Penn is very comfortable in their lines defensively. If they're able to get set up with their 2 lines of 4, they're very comfortable defending for a period of time.
Sticking a foot in at the right time. Brown gets the ball back in midfield. And once again, Michael Chung just drifts out to this right line here. He's just outside of your frame a little bit, but similar on the opposite side as well. So like how you said, Coach, they go from 5, then that 5 comes up into the middle.
Yep.
And able to work out the wings. But a right-timed pass, or they catch them off a little bit, and Penn's going to be off to the races.
Yep.
Nice header, but Stitzy's got to come back. Lest be offside. Viper.
Penn's perfectly content to let Brown knock it among their 3 center backs. They're going to be looking for that next ball. That's the one. Unfortunately, goes out of bounds for Brown, but that's Penn's really setting up defensively for that ball off those 3 center backs, either to put the Brown player under pressure or even better, intercept it and try and get at him quickly.
So now Penn trying to come outside. Bendo. It's Chung. Nice intercept by Gustafsson.
Good recovery there by Bendo to help win the ball back for Penn.
McGinnis out to the wing for Gaffney. Now from the left side, center ball across, but up in the air. Henrik Viper able to collect it. Nicely done by Bruno's netminder.
Yeah, Isaac McGinnis is not a name you see on the score sheet a lot, but he is a crucial player for this Penn team. Plays at the number 8. You see him alongside Aaron Messer quite a bit, but he's the engine of this team. He's the orchestrator to make sure things are getting taken care of, and it really opens things up for Stitz and Korzanowski to really think about putting the ball in the net, getting in good spots to get on the end of things.
Quakers trying to set things up and then break out on the far side, now to the midfield. A foul call, and the referee reaching for his pocket. We're going to have the first booking. Oh, I'm surprised he kept the card in his pocket.
Yeah, I think the Brown player was lucky to get away with that one. Is that Barry?
Langdon Giglis got a little word of advice. Now Brown on a little bit of a breakout. Dodzy gets the ball taken away.
Burnley did really well there not to overcommit to the wide player on the ball.
Gets a header on it. Brown trying to creep in top of the box. Penn's back line, though, stepping up. Under 23 and a half left to go in the first. Only one shot so far. That belonging to the visitors.
Yeah, not much going on in the game right now, but I can tell you, I'm sure Coach Gill would like his team to have a little bit more of the ball at this point of the game.
Nice heel. Gustafsson tries to get around, but Bendo able to give chase. It goes off a Brown player and out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Quakers. Korzanowski right here in front of us off the fence, and Penn will have the throw-in. Bendo looking for some real estate to throw it in. Gaffney. Referee not having any of that either. Play continues. Penn will have the throw in just to our left. Jack Rosner off to the far side. Now Penn will retreat just a little. Gimbeno sends it back.
Yeah, I think Shimbeno, if he has an opportunity, we've seen him hit some really good long diagonal balls across the field to find the far side wide player. That's going to be on tonight. If he has time and space to look, looking for Gaffney or even Ben Doe coming from the left back spot.
And that ball just rolls all the way down. It'll be a goal kick for Brown. Under 21 minutes remaining. No score as of yet. Not very much as far as any offense from either side, Coach. And like you said, and we even knew coming into this game, this is going to be a defensive battle. It's just going to be a matter of who wears down who first.
Yeah, I mean, and it could come down to restarts. I think both teams are excellent defensive teams. They do not concede goals often. They're not prone to defensive mistakes. So in a game like that, restarts become that much more important. That being said, as we mentioned earlier, Penn has shown an ability to put goals on the board in a variety of ways. So just see if they're able to kind of crack Brown here at some point. But otherwise, it very well could come down to a restart.
And like how you said at the top of the broadcast, how Brown will drop to the 5 members of that back line.
Yep.
They're doing so with great precision.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at them right now, they're a 5-3-2. They're very well organized. Coach Wildman has done a good job of organizing this group and getting everybody on the same page. And that's something that's difficult to break down just because of those numbers.
Ball out of bounds for a goal kick for Brown. Scott Gustafson's going to come out. Noah Attenda, the junior defender from Albany, Maryland, will be coming in. Outside of the injury to Gogo Peters, Brown goes to the bench first.
You hear Coach Gill on the sideline imploring his team to look for the second ball.
As they work towards the outside, Barry. McGinnis trying to send Stitz, but just a little too much on it to give his classmate a proper run. Good idea by Stitz, looking for Gaffney, just ran out of room. Quickly on the throw-in, and a foul called against McGinnis. Very good crowd on hand, Coach, looking at the bleachers on both sides.
Yeah.
And homecoming weekend, as we said before, for us. And I may not make it through the match because whoever's got that barbecue smoker over there, I may go see him at halftime. Brown once again patient in their setup from the back line. Lost it on the foot a little bit. Giglis sends one out to the right wing, Michael Chung. Chung, Charlie Adams.
Good strong call there by Christofferson. Called Shimbino off.
Definitely a better controls. This way he can dispatch it out here to this left wing for him. Penn can get a better setup.
See, these are the opportunities here. If they can just find Jack Rosner a little bit quicker and earlier, it gives him time and space to advance the ball. Come back outside here to Ben Doe, same thing.
As we saw with Chung for Brown, Doe doing the same thing on this side. He's got a better part of 30 yards around him before anybody's even thinking about looking at him. It would not surprise me that whatever that first goal comes from, it's either going to be Chung not paying attention as they tried for him here. Gaffney gives a go, but Viper meets him at the top of the area. And as I was saying a moment ago, Coach, it just seems like there's going to be a weakness on either team. If you can dispatch it out to those wings, as you said, you get the timing right, it's not going to be a progression up the field. It's just going to be a sprint to get to the net, and it'll come down to the goalkeepers. But also as well, Penn not too much with the pressure for risk making the error.
I think the risk for Penn is, they have to stay disciplined and not get frustrated without having a lot of the ball. They've defended for long periods. They've been solid. They haven't been threatened. But for a team that's had the success they've had and have put a bunch of goals on the board and are accustomed to seeing more of the ball, the risk is that they lose their composure and get frustrated and overextend themselves and expose themselves, and Brown gets one. I think on the flip side, in a game like this against a team like Brown, who's very strong defensively, but also on the other end doesn't score a lot of goals, if Penn finds a goal, it's almost like it's worth two. It's doubly demoralizing because Brown knows they don't score that often, and they don't concede that often. So it's that much more difficult to respond.
Well, and you look at it, Brown enters tonight averaging just 0.6 goals per match in October, 3 goals over the 5 matches. And as we said before, they're still trying to get their first 3 points inside the inch and 8. Scoreless draws in their first 2 of the 3 conference matches. But on the other side, too, Viper, he's won 5. He started 9, won 5, a .805 save percentage, averaging under a goal, and he leads the league in clean sheets. Good opportunity here by Brown, but just too much on it from Chung, and he launches it up and over and out of the field of play. Penn's now going to go to the bench. Hughes will come out. Zazueta will come in. Charlie Gaffney exchanged spots with him. Zazueta, known for his speed bursts as well, so maybe now they're trying to set up into that position. Zazueta knowing he was too far ahead.
I like the idea, though, from Aaron Messer.
Nice idea, just a little bit too much on it.
Yeah, you had Brown had kind of pressed high, and this is what we're talking about, the wide areas. A longer ball into the wide area, there's space to exploit there for Penn.
Messer right now with the footwork, working his way through some trouble. Korzanowski. Doe will launch one forward, trying to get Charlie Gaffney on a run, and just a hair off, but a nice ball up top. Shot, nice block by the back line. Setting it back up again, Zazueta. McGinnis. Doe from the left side. Doe chips one up, that got deflected, asking for a handball, hearing none. Bruno just swats it out to midfield.
So the last few offensive sets by Penn, I like what they're trying to do. They're being a little bit more direct, stretching Brown in behind, and they're having some success. They're giving Brown a little bit of trouble.
So a whistle on the play, foul called against Penn. Brown will restart near the scorer's table with just under 12 minutes left to go here in the first half. Zazweta.
Good ball.
Very nice ball. Here's Korzanowski. Korz shoots! Stas scores!
Great finish by Stas. Again, it's exactly what we were talking about earlier. The early ball rolled in behind where there was space, gives Stas an opportunity to run onto it and puts a pounding on it. Powers it past the goalkeeper for a 1-0 advantage. And like I said earlier, that's a big goal. For a team that doesn't score often in Brown, that's a big goal to concede.
Stas Korzanowski sends it home for the first goal of the contest, but his 8th goal on the season. It's now 1-0 favor of the home side. And even then, when you watch the replay, Coach, he was very heavily contested.
Oh yeah,
getting that ball together.
Well, it was a really well-weighted pass.
Quakers substitution. Leaving the match was number 17, Charlie Gaffney.
Charlie Gaffney comes off.
Entering the match was number 11, Michael Tidites.
Tidites comes in.
Substitutions. Leaving was number 23.
Now, look out the left wing. Zazweta sitting there all alone. Ben Doe coming up to give him help. Doe settles Zazweta. Well, Coach, you'd said just a few minutes ago, Coach Gill would like to see Penn have the ball a little bit more. In the past 5-6 minutes,
Yep.
the play has been to the left side.
Yeah, and as we were talking about, Dan, like the style has shifted a little bit as well in the last 5 minutes. They had a few good early balls in behind that now give Brown something to think about. And then that last one was a good build-up. Ball slipped in behind to a well-timed run by Korzanowski, and he thumps it by the keeper for a 1-0 advantage.
Isaac McGinnis launched one over to people over near the smokers I made mention earlier, and somebody went all the way up in the air, extended, and came down with it as this ball pokes through. But Nick Christopherson will draw in some attention before he dispatches it as we break 9 minutes. McGinnis tries to settle. Stitz
Well done there by Ben Stitz.
trying to send forward, looking for Stas Korzanowski. Just a half step off.
But I like that look, Dan. You know, Brown with their line, they're defending in midfield, the space is in behind, and Penn has the weapons to exploit it. McGinnis took his shot, tried to play Stas in, you know, half step off sides, but I think they need to keep coming back to that.
So off the offsides, play resumes. 8 minutes left to go here in the first half. Ball down towards the corner, and it'll be a goal kick for Mr. Christopherson. Taking a peek up the turnpike in the 77th minute. Cornell is on top 3-1. Throw in for Brown near the check-in area.
Brown substitution. Leaving the match, number 10, Charlie Adams. Entering the match, number 11, Brady Van Epps.
Brady Van Epps, the senior forward from Clifton Park, New York, will check in. Charlie Adams will have a seat as we get back to live action here. Out of bounds behind the temporary bleachers, I guess we can call them. But even still, hats off to the operations crew here at Penn for getting all this set up, as we said, our temporary home for the remainder of this season and for at least next. I say at least because construction doesn't rarely ever get done on time.
Let's just say the remainder of this season and next season.
See, I'm trying to get an exclusive from him, folks, but he never gave me anything. When the man was a coach, he never gave me anything. Now that he's my broadcast partner, he's still not giving me anything. But nonetheless, the Penn Park area, and for those of us that have been around campus for a while, it's just amazing what this space used to be and what it has become. Zazueta now trying to get another spot onto the board for the Quakers.
A really good example, though, what we were talking about earlier on that last offensive set for the Quakers. They got the ball wide to Ben Doe early, and Brown had to deal with both Ben Doe and
Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Ben Doe ends as well.
There you go.
And that is an area where they can continue to exploit if they're sharp and quick with it.
I think it's broke. I think it's broke, boss. So you can't really see us because the camera's literally above us. That last shot bounced off the top of the tent that we have here. And I think he busted it.
Well done by Zazueta. In all the excitement, Brandon Curran came on for Stas Korzanowski.
So Brown once again trying to control the pace to their game. 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. The home side up 1-0 on the goal from Stas Korzanowski.
Yeah, they've just got to find a way off one side to get to the other. If they can, I mean, Ben Doe's his way to this. There's just so much time and space on the weak side of the Brown formation.
Well, they're able to exploit it once. A couple of attempts at it later on. Let's see what Brown does here from the corner. That goes out of bounds off of the Penn defense. So the first corner of the evening belongs to Brown. With 2:45 left to go, they'll set up on the far side. Ball in, bending ball in front, headed away once, touched back second by Bruno, but out of bounds.
Quakers substitution. Leaving the match, number 8, Isaac McGinnis. Entering the match, number 32, Jacob Muchnick.
Now we talked about Jacob Muchnick. He's now coming in off the bench in reserve for this latter part of the first half. Off the ball in. Ball heading towards the right. And the referee's whistle. A free kick for the Bears with 90 seconds left to go here in the opening act. On the whistle, now it's 70 seconds left. Christopherson comes out and collects it. And will take his time as we hit the final minute of play in the first half here. Once again, 1-0 is the score here at Dunning-Cohen Champions Field. Dan Fritz alongside Rudy Fuller. Ivy League men's soccer set before you here on the home of the Ivy League Network, ESPN+. A beautiful night in West Philadelphia. As we get set to go. Now ball out to the left side, Ben Doe. Doe off to the left, closely guarded, now makes his move. Left foot tipped and goes out of bounds. And now Penn will have an opportunity for the corner kick, but they have to hurry as there's only 15 seconds left. A chance for one more before.
Big opportunity here.
Final 10 being counted off by Kevin Casey, the public address announcer. Here it is, ball in, line drive in, headed away once. And Brown will negate the opportunity, and the whistle sounds. 45 minutes are in the books. Penn gets the only goal of the contest. Stas Korzanowski. Both teams had 3 shots apiece. A total of 9 fouls in the contest, 1 corner on each side, Coach. And it was an interesting look. But again, one of, as you described it, it's going to be patience and poise is going to win this game tonight.
Yeah, I think Penn did show a lot of patience and poise in that first half. As we were talking about, you know, the first part of the game, Brown saw a lot of the ball, and Penn had to be patient, kind of bide their time, and they really warmed up to the game as the half wore on and were rewarded with a really nice goal by Korzanowski. But that last 10, 15 minutes of the first half, Penn had far more control of things than earlier in the game.
Well, an early breakout for the Quakers as McGinnis sends to the left side looking for Ben Doe.
Right out of the gate, I like the ball from Isaac McGinnis. Clearly, something they talked about at halftime, taking advantage of the wide areas, getting it there early enough for Rosner and Doe to take advantage of that space.
As this ball comes up here right in our living room. Trying to get through now, Bruno trying to put together an attack. But it goes right to the Quaker netminder. Again, homecoming weekend and a special presentation at halftime that you were a part of. The 20th anniversary of the 2002 team. And Coach, I mean, you and I have talked about this both on air and off air. It's always great when the players come back. After they've graduated, they move on. They go forth in their lives, but it's always great when, and forgive the pun to it, but when they do come home.
Yeah, I completely agree, Dan. That 2002 group is a special group. Tremendous turnout for their 20th anniversary of that Ivy League championship team, and they look great. I mean, there was probably 16 or 18 guys back in town. But in addition to that, there's other Penn soccer alums here in the stands. Bumped into John Salvucci and Evan Anderson, who graduated the year before that 2002 championship and had a lot to do with the success of that team, building the foundation. Saw Alec Newman and Johnny Elliker. Alec Newman, a member of the 2013 Ivy League championship team. Johnny Elliker, Ryan Porch, a member of the 2008 and 10 teams. So a lot of former Quakers back here homecoming, enjoying this current Penn team and the success they're having this season.
Any of them still got a year of eligibility?
I think they wish they did at this point. With the way this team's playing, I think they wish they did.
And you even joked that when you came off the field, they're like, they're all in such great shape.
Oh, they look great. They look great.
So maybe all those early morning runs and gym sessions and was it the beep tests?
Oh, yeah. Well, it just shows you how special it is to be a part of any college athletic team and the bonds that are formed and the experience that you have as a member of a team, a member of a community. And it continues to bring these guys back year after year.
And the one thing that I'd learned in my first few years here, as far as for this aspect, they're only around for 4 years. Sometimes at that point a fifth, but that fifth year came at a tremendous price.
Yep.
But then to watch, as you said, they keep in touch. You watch them, go forth with their lives, and then when they do come back, it's phenomenal. And the story never stops, and that's the beautiful thing about this job. Their story does not stop. It's either part of a foundation they built for a team for a future success, or some of them, Matt Poplowski's another one.
Yep.
He played for you, he played here, and now he's coaching here as well. So just phenomenal stories.
A lot of good stories.
Right now the story is Brown trying to level things up. They're down by 1 to their hosts. Brown continuing the same patience, but also showing maybe a little page of Penn's playbook, trying to get that pressure on the outside, work the wing a little bit and see if they can't get something going. Penn, though, trying to return the favor through the middle. Stas Korzanowski goes to Jack Rosner here on this near side. Chimbano.
Unfortunately for Brown, it does not appear Go-Go Peters. He did not come back out for the second half. And again, as you said earlier, that's a big loss for them in the attack, particularly when they're facing a deficit.
Rosner sends one forward for Korzanowski. Stas trying to make a turn. Hounded by 3 players. Still working the line. But unfortunately, his foot the one that sends it out of bounds. Tight rope in the line, off the heel. Brown now trying to make a move to the outside, but Penn's defense standing tall. Atanda sends one across.
Good ball in.
Nice one, but Mr. Christopherson better with the gloves. As the sun setting behind the facilities here, Penn working the left side. Zazueta. Quakers dropping back. Christopherson will settle at his feet. Poke it forward. Rosner. Off the throw in.
Good ball. That's better from Penn.
Nicely done to change fields, try to work the wing. Zazueta just couldn't turn the corner. Viper will control it at his feet.
A little bit of atmosphere rolling through Penn Park.
Yeah, the train coming through. Korzanowski. Brown switching fields as we saw in the first 45 minutes. Now sending one forward. Out of bounds, and Brown's already going to go to the bench here in the second half.
Now this is where Penn has got to be really good on these defensive restarts, not to give anything away to Brown off a restart. Make them earn it in the run of play.
So they got the corner opportunity on the far flag. Good deep bending ball looking far side. The header off the mark and to the left. Be a goal kick for the Quakers. Korzanowski with a lot of company. Ball ultimately goes back to the back line.
Penn's doing a better job of setting up their defensive lines a little bit higher up the field at the start. In the first half, they were a bit deep, and Brown was having a little bit too much of the ball in Penn's defensive half of the field.
Brown, though, able to start working their way up by way of the throw-in on the far. Throw in for the Bears as they try to work the right side of 18, making a turn. Ball goes out of bounds, and the referees call a goal kick for the Quakers. The Penn faithful in attendance starting to chant. Mr. Christopherson, the right boot.
Good ball by Michael Hughes. Springins his way out wide to Stitz.
And now trying to work towards the corner. Penn now sends a ball forward, but nobody on the back door to send that home.
Yeah, Ben Stitz did really well to get that service across. Some tricky footwork in the corner to give himself the half step to clip that ball in. It was a dangerous one, but they just didn't have anybody at the back post.
Play through midfield as Bruno tries to work this left wing. Adams to the outside. Penn's defense stood tall. Referee waving things off, no call. Rosner. Korzanowski.
That's the ball we were talking about earlier from Shimbino.
Sending it all the way out to the wing.
Well done by Doe.
Ben Doe running out of room. He sends one across.
Probably
within feet of the goal mouth.
Probably one touch too many by Ben Doe. Maybe had an opportunity to slip the ball across a step sooner or a touch sooner. But still a good ball by Shimbino. I think that ball is on all night if they can find it.
Throw in from Brown. This one pops up and not as close as the one we caught in the first half.
Yep, here we go. Out to Ben Doe.
As the Quakers now, they'll try to switch it up. Here's Rosner on the near side. Rosner trying to make a turn, does well, but just
that's unfortunate.
Ran out.
That's unfortunate. That was a good offensive set from Penn. That's really, switching the ball like that's really difficult for Brown and the formation they're playing to deal with. If Penn can just be a little bit sharper, they'll create opportunities off that.
Scott Gustafson checks back in for Brown.
Got just under 30 minutes to play. Brown's going to have to try and push this game. Take a few more risks, throw some numbers forward to try and find a goal.
Adams starts a ball through midfield, going out to the right wing. Now the referee blows the whistle and a free kick awarded to Brown.
And again, Penn has to be careful here because right now this is the only real dangerous opportunities that Brown is going to pull together is off of these restarts. They haven't been able to break Penn down or create any significant chances in the run of play. So these are really good opportunities for Brown, and Penn has to be careful in dealing with them.
Off the restart, bending ball in, looking over. Christopherson gets up and collects it.
Really strong, confident pull by Nick Christopherson there.
Hey, we've seen him do that so many times throughout the season, almost without making it look like too much of an effort. It's just right in his wheelhouse. He collects it. Penn holding the ball now, working the back line, and will try to press forward. Rosner.
Good ball by Rosner there.
Korzanowski. Good right foot looking for the far post. In traffic, battling it around. It goes out of bounds, and the referee calls for the corner kick for the Quakers. Rob Caramano pointing to the far flag. 28 minutes and small change remaining. The set, chip shot up, over, and Mr. Viper, also good with the gloves, collects it and waits for his team to press forward.
It's a fairly easy ball for the keeper to deal with when it's lofted that high up in the air. I think trying to get to the ball the far post. If Isaac drives it in a bit more, it's a lot more difficult for the goalkeeper to kind of pick it up.
And especially like from the goalkeeper's perspective, as long as he keeps that ball in front of him, if they can get that loft with a little speed to it, get it over his shoulder a little bit more, then it gets a little bit difficult. As Bruno trying to put on a press the other way, that goes off of Bernie. But Brown still holding on to a chip shot forward, and Christopherson.
Again, well done by Nick Christopherson.
Penn, Brown, back and forth at midfield. Goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Quakers, and it looks like Penn is going to the bench.
Leaving the match, number 6, Aaron Messer.
Aaron Messer will catch a break, and Mr. Hughes as well.
Entering the match, number 32, Jacob Muchnick.
Muchnick back out,
Number 17, Charlie Gaffney.
and Charlie Gaffney back out onto the pitch. As we crack 26 minutes, and that deflected off of the Browns' number 21, Noah Atanda. This ball comes all the way over. Rosner with a burst of speed up the right wing. Stops, looks. Muchnick.
Oh, cheeky little ball there by Rose.
Very cheeky. Brown supporters looking for a whistle, getting none. A little too much on that. Leo Burney will collect it and look up the left side. Having to come back for it as the wind picks up a little bit. Jack Rosner right here in front of us.
That's a good ball by McGinnis.
There's a nice ball, but coming out, almost a dangerous one, but Viper smartly plays it off the head outside of the 18. Brown now trying to clear.
Penn looking far more comfortable in the game at this stage.
Ball to the left, Rosner.
Again, that last offensive set, trying to play into the space behind Brown. They clearly feel like that with Stas and Gaffney and others, they've got the pace to exploit it. I feel like the temperature just dropped 15 degrees.
It did.
In like 2 minutes.
They said the wind picked up, and
It's that time of year.
yes, but at least it's not raining. But the wind is picking up as, I don't know if we're just getting dirt or dust floating in. Foul called. So the wind from your screen vantage going from the bottom to the top of the screen.
Good turn by Stas. It's an area, his game, that's gotten so much better over the past year, is his comfort level and ability and maturity, really, to be able to hold the ball up, know when to hold the ball up, know how to pull players forward with him or spin away on his own. Just making much better decisions.
Penn has the ball. Corner kick. near side flag. Left foot, good ball in, good punch away by Viper, but the whistle from the referee is a foul's called against the Quakers.
That's a very good ball there. And like we were talking about on the last corner, I think the one, I don't know whether it was Stitz or McGinnis, it was a lofted ball to the back post. That ball there had much more pace, and you can see the trouble it gave the goalkeeper.
Off the goal kick, good ball through the middle part of the field. First 2 touches for Brown, now trying to work the corner. Good work by Penn's defense. 2 players go down, but the far side official calling a goal kick, and substitutes coming in.
Leaving the match, number 10, Charlie Adams, along with number 6, Scott Gustafson. Entering the match, number 14, Mike Baliani, along with number 11, Brody Van
Rosner sends a good ball forward. Zazueta couldn't control it. Stitz, good foot. Trying to control it midfield. Isaac McGinnis, think he got stepped on a little bit. Walking it off, Brown with the ball midfield. Atanda. Almost a good breakout ball.
Yeah, I like that look. Again, you got a guy like Stas Korzanowski up top. You can take advantage of that, be a bit more direct at times.
Ball now working to the outside and keeping it in. Stitz picks a pocket. Ball towards the corner, kept in nicely. Barry did well, ball in, but poked right back out. Brown now trying to put together an attack.
So Brown is definitely trying to overload a little bit on the Penn center backs. Pushing numbers a little bit higher.
Quakers substitutions. Leaving the match.
And we got a member of Penn down.
Leaving the match for the Quakers, number 9, Ben Stitz, number 7, Mateo Zazueta, along with number 8, Isaac McGinnis. Entering the match, number 26, Brandon Curran.
Looks like stretching.
Michael Tates.
I think it's McGinnis.
Yeah, it is Isaac. Trainer's coming out.
Number 6, Aaron Mester.
I think
It's
it's
just a cramp or
I think it might be back when he got stepped on.
that
his
ankle he was holding on to earlier.
Yep.
So the clock stopped with 17:54. 1-0 is the score here in the second half. And he gets up on his own with a little help coming off. We'll see if they'll just loop him back in, if they'll make a substitution.
Yeah, it's good to see Isaac walking off on his own power, and this is the benefit of where they are in the season as well. They're, games are every Saturday now. There's no midweek games left. So even if he does pick up a little bit of a knock, he'll have some time to recover.
We'll see where it takes it as the ball comes back in, but didn't go too far and right out of bounds. Brown will come back the other way as we hit 18 minutes left to go here in the first half. Out of bounds, goal kick for the Quakers. Mr. Christopherson will set things up as everybody presses towards midfield. Penn will press forward by way of the throw-in. A beautiful day turning into a beautiful evening here in West Philadelphia, wrapping up homecoming on this Saturday in Philadelphia. Thank you for joining us and be a part of the day as well. And Coach, I just checked the weather, and from when we started, it only dropped about 5 degrees. I think it lies.
Yeah.
That wind's coming through as Christopherson has to dance the top 15 to collect it.
Good look for Brown there. Looking for an early strike on the counter. Brown has moved into more of a 3-4-3 now. Again, with three forwards up front, really trying to flood the central area and kind of overmatch the two Penn center backs. So they've essentially moved their wing backs higher up. Now as wide midfielders, pushed one of their central midfielders forward. So now in more of a traditional 3-4-3, just trying to get some more numbers forward, apply greater pressure to Penn in their defensive half of the field, and see if that can create some chances for them.
We'll see what kind of chances, but now time starting to work against Brown as we're just about 15 and a half remaining here in this contest. This ball to the left side. Barry, he sends a long crossing ball. Christopherson started to give chase. I think the wind did carry that a little bit, but the ball out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Mr. Christopherson.
Yeah, see, this is where Bernie and Shimbino have got to be really clear with Messer in front of them, about what they need from him. Because when Brown's three forwards are pinned centrally, it's essentially a 3v2 in the heart of the Penn defense. And so they really have to be talking to Messner and Muchnick in terms of what they need from those guys to protect the heart of the Penn defense.
Foul called against Penn as the train once again passing through.
Good feet there by Jacob Muchnick to find Rosner, who then finds Gaffney, and off they go.
Gaffney making the turn, gets towards the line. Great work by Brown's defense. Out of bounds, but it will be a corner opportunity now for the Quakers.
Brown recovered well there. I thought that was going to be an opportunity for Penn.
So from the near flag, about 13 and a half remaining as this ball comes towards the goal mouth, and Viper once again gets into the air.
Oh, good little flick there.
Nicely done, but Penn's defense able to get it back to their keeper just a little bit better. Christopherson sends one up. He sails high in the midfield. Still, game being played in the air. Jack Roser slaps one to midfield, but Brown sends one right back. We got a Quaker down.
That was an awkward fall. Messer got knocked off balance as he was going up to challenge for a head ball. Came down awkwardly on his ankle.
And the referee calling for the stoppage, 12:33. Messer up on his own. And the referee just now conducting the drop ball to get things restarted. Christopherson still has it. And now Christopherson launches one. Rosner's trying to settle right here at the line. Good idea by Messer to look for the middle, but Brown's defense got right in the way.
Yeah, Messer's had quietly a very good game for Penn, sitting deep in that midfield. Breaking up plays. Passing has been very strong.
Foul called on the far side right in front of the Penn bench, much to their pleasure. Belliani and Van Epps coming off. Adams back in. Ateta in there. Ben Stitz back in. Stas Korzanowski's going to have a seat. Just about 11 and a half remaining. The far side official initially indicated a throw in for Penn, but the man in the middle indicated otherwise. So throw in for Brown, play continues. And now a foul called. As now the card's going to come out. Yellow card issued to Brown. And did he just issue a card to the bench?
He did. I'm not sure what Coach Wildman was frustrated about. I can't hear what he's yelling about. But I will say he's done a heck of a job with this Brown team, getting them organized. Really difficult to break down, well coached, comfortable in what appears to be a variety of formations. They just lack a cutting edge in the attack, a consistent cutting edge, but they're very young. A lot of their key players are freshmen and sophomores, so the future looks bright for Brown soccer.
As you heard the announcement for both yellow cards being issued. Dispossession here. Gaffney pokes one in the middle. A foul call. Play on, says the referee.
I think Brown was a bit lucky there. I think that could have been a penalty.
Rosner sends one across, and that was close, Coach, as now from the left side. Now trying to make the turn. Some more contact. Referee still keeping the whistle in his pocket. Brown just tries to clear. We're under 10 minutes.
A little bit of helter-skelter these past few minutes as Brown is really starting to press the game. Good ball.
Now ball here for Charlie Gaffney. He has to come back to it from the motion. Gaffney looks right, cuts, holds, heel, Muchnick, Messer.
Good ball movement here by Penn.
Very nicely done. Can they finish the deal? Viper gets down and covers.
Really good ball movement on that build-up. Bringing it around the top of the box, trying to find an opportunity. A lot of composure.
Most of all, the composure in that whole sequence was for Brown's netminder. Did not commit to anything, followed the ball, followed his players, was ready for it. And then when he had to, got down to cover to deflect any kind of a shot. And Penn's making substitutions now. 8:37 and counting here in this contest. The lone goal, Stas Korzanowski in the first frame. Got one in. A defensive battle indeed on both sides. A total of 7 shots in this entire contest.
Penn can't get casual in these last 8 minutes.
No, Brown has already shown that they plan on doing whatever they can to pour on the pressure. Penn tries to go left side and one hops into the Brown bench.
Like the idea by Messer there. Trying to pick out Stitz.
Substitution leaving the match, number 5, Tahakina. Entering, number 14, Mike Poliano.
Takina comes out as Brown's trying to find some chemistry in these final 7 minutes and change, see if they can't level this. Very nice ball work.
Good pressure there by Ben Stitz. Messer there again for Penn.
Gaffney got the ball, much to the crowd's displeasure.
That was a really good tackle for
It was
Brown.
very good tackle.
Because if Gaffney got by that, Penn was in really good shape breaking on the counter.
Zazueta can't keep it in bounds. I'm sorry, no, deflects it off of Brown, excuse me. And therefore Penn will have the throw in as we're pushing 6.5. But yeah, even from our vantage point here, nice, good, clean tackle, really disrupted the play nicely. Penn was definitely in a spot to maybe be off to the net. Good work by the defenders from Brown. Gaffney now trying to get around this corner. Able to send one over, but cannot. Ball sent towards us. Settled by Dodzy.
Really good
Dodzy with good speed.
touch and turn by Dodzy there. Very
Dodzy
smooth.
cuts, but great work there by the Quakers' Nick Shimbano to send it out. A corner kick coming now for Bruno
And here
with
we
under
are.
6.
Under 6. Set piece. Got to be good on your set pieces defensively. Brown loading up the box, knowing that this may be one of their last opportunities. Crowding
Loading.
out Nick Christopherson.
Ball forward, headed away by Penn. Nicely done. Now trying to work back. Viper well forward for Brown. He's almost to the circle. Out of bounds, throw in for Brown on the far side. 5:15 remaining as Bruno brings it back in. Ball to the box, headed out by Penn. Now looking to go forward. Brown's defense, though, stepping in the way. Getting it back. Top of 18, shot. Christofferson, though, right there to collect it with the gloves.
Yeah, comfortable save for Nick there. I think he saw it all the way.
Signaling for his teammates to get forward. And he launches one through midfield. Stas Korzanowski trying to get under it. Able to settle a little bit, but better work by Brown's defense. Zazueta give a chase. And out of bounds it goes. It'll be a throw-in. And the clock to be stopped by the referee with 4:28. Tonight's comes back in. Referee making sure the proper spot for the throw-in.
Oh,
Off the throw-in.
there he is.
Some footwork battle.
Yeah, I tell you what, Stitz missed McGinnis breaking toward goal. If he was able to find him, almost surely 2-0 Penn.
If he was able to, pop that ball out of that little bit of the scrum, but still Penn will have the corner kick as we're pushing 4 minutes remaining here in the second half. 1-0 is the score. Penn scoring in the first half. Brown putting on a tremendous amount of pressure through the second half, but just could not finish the deal. Now off the short corner kick. Goes out of bounds. Penn will have the throw in as he's just trying to work on some of the clock.
With 4 minutes left, I'm not sure it's time to start stalling like that. I think I would have taken the service and see if I could get another goal.
Still work around the flag. Another throw in for the Quakers. Back out of bounds again. Penn with the throw in. This time they say it goes over the line to be a goal kick. 3 minutes remaining as Mr. Viper, the freshman, the reigning rookie of the week for Browns, sends it up through midfield. Out of bounds, and they say the throw in for the visitors. Quickly, the ball comes back into play. First touch for Penn. Korzanowski trying to settle.
Yeah, this is where Korzanowski is really important for Penn. Not only with his size, winning first or second balls in the air, but his hold-up play. Being somebody that they can play into to relieve some pressure and get them out, get numbers forward.
So after this, Brown's going to enjoy a homestand, Rhode Island, Princeton, Hartford. Then they'll go out at Dartmouth and then finish up at home against Yale. For the Quakers, at Harvard on the 29th, back home here on the 5th. And then they'll wrap up the season at Princeton on the 12th. So some interesting time here as just, again, peeking up the turnpike. 3-1 was the final as the referee has stopped the clock with 1:55 off of the free kick. So Penn will have it near the corner flag, under 2 minutes to go. Referee marking everything off properly. And now Penn just working the ball near the corner. Lawal got issued with the yellow card on Sporting. In the 88th minute here of this contest. Oh, I almost got dangerous. Ball to the outside. Left foot through midfield. 1:29 left to go. McGinnis sends it back. Stitz giving chase, trying to get under it. Viper, though, right there to collect it with not much room to spare at the top of the 18.
Brown just throwing numbers forward at this point with just over a minute to play, just trying to find anything.
Zazueta went to the ground in a heap. A foul called. Clock still running. As Zazueta quickly gets up. The final minute called. The Penn faithful coming to their feet. 50 seconds away from 3 more points. And the 4th win of this Ivy season. Chip shot towards the corner.
Just
Still
playing
in bounds.
Playing it into Stas down there, trying to keep it in.
They could not. Brown on the quick restart.
Got to finish the game, though. Got to finish the game.
Still time left, 25 seconds. Now the ball to the outside, 18 seconds left. Chip shot up. First touch, Penn. Final 10 to be counted off.
That does it.
That's going to seal the deal. Penn's going to improve and collect their 10th win of the season. 10-1-2 overall, 4-0 inside of the Ivy League. For Brown, they dropped to 6-4-2, 0-2-2 inside of the Ancient Eight. The lone goal tonight, Stas